Hello, and welcome to my comic of the week, which isn't actually a comic that came out this week because comics haven't come out yet this week. But the comic I have for this week is two comics, and it's Detective Comics number 833 and 834. And this is a two-part story. This was when Paul Dini, famous for his work on the DC animated universe, starting with Batman the Animated Series, and who's this? Kramer. I don't know who. And Don Kramer. I know him, but I mean Paul Dini. I think is more well known. But this was an awesome run for Paul Dini. It was mostly one and done issues, each focusing on a different villain. But this was a two-parter, and one notable thing, among many, for this run was the covers. And this had awesome black and white covers, and these two were by Simone Bianchi, who I'm beginning to realize is like my favorite artist. The last few books I think he was involved with, and I just randomly picked these because I really like this run, and I picked these issues in particular because Zatanna was guest starring, and Zatanna is one of my favorite DC heroines. I mean, she has cool powers. Magic is cool. I used to grow up watching those magic shows they had on Fox in the 90s. They weren't as cool as what she could do, but I always liked magic. And so I liked her. And she also had a cool outfit. She just was like hot. The long dark hair, the fishnet stockings, yummy. But we'll get into these a little bit. Yeah, it starts with a fire and Batman to the rescue. And this is Trust, parts 1 and 2. And it's a magic show by, I forget the guy's name, Ivar Loxius, I guess. It could be Locius, but it's Loxis. I don't know how to pronounce that. We'll just call him, Ivar. He's a magician, and he was injured and fell out of the habit, but now he's back. And in the last few shows, people have gotten injured, and then in this one that this opens with, his assistant died in a fire. It was like escape the box type of a trick. The box was supposed to catch on fire, but the whole building wasn't. But she died, and they didn't arrest him because his assistants are doing the work now, and he didn't actually perform the trick. And there's two things I wanted to say. This has like two awesome panels that aren't like super impressive in general, but to me, oh my god, I loved them. And the first one, if I can show it, where is it? Nope, I don't know. There's this one right here. I'm gonna have to curl this up. Don't get mad at me. But it's the whole top panel. But mostly, I just like the Batman, the way it's colored and shaded mostly, and I love that you can see his nostril up his cowl. That just was awesome to me. The whole panel's cool though. It has the person being rolled out on the stretcher. I just really like that. I don't know. And when we get to the other one, I'll show it. But but Ivar has a back and forth with Gordon, and then he passes out or falls down because of his injury, and he gets a little sympathy, but he's not a sympathetic character. Batman has a little flashback because the assistant who died was trained by Zatanna. That's why she's in the comic. And he has a little flashback to his childhood. Yeah, but these two issues are dense with lore. Yeah, but after Bruce Wayne's parents died, Zatanna's father, and Thomas Wayne, I think that's his name, worked together in charitable operations or whatever, fundraisers. So for Bruce's first birthday after his parents died, Alfred gets him to put on a magic show, but Bruce Wayne isn't particularly impressed. He's Bruce Wayne, so I guess he was a bit ahead of his age anyway, and his parents did, so he's not worried. But the other panel I was talking about is this one, and which is just like a close up of his face. Again, it's the shading. I love the way this looks. Those two are my favorite panels in this issue. There's one in the next I'll point out if I remember, but that's incredible work. I love that. But yeah, Zatanna goes over to cheer him up. He's like, "Nah, nah, nah, I'm a butthead and I know everything. You're gonna pull the." She does the coin trick, and he's like, "I know that you're gonna pull the coin from behind my ear." But she just like turns it into bubbles and like blows him in his face, and he's like, "Whoa, that's cool. Where'd you go?" Because she disappears. And then again with the lore, you have Bruce Wayne has issues with Zatanna and all of the Justice League because of Identity Crisis when they like wiped his mind, and he's like, and then he says, "I can't forgive a betrayal of trust." So he's still pissed about that, as he rightfully should be. But he still informs her, and then they agree to go meet. And then they agree to work on the case. And then they discover that the rag that they put in her mouth was coated in some nut oils, peanut and or sesame seed or something, and walnut oil. And she's allergic to nuts, so she died of anaphylactic shock before the fire even started, while she was in the little casket for her. So then they go to wreck some shit. It was like, no way. It was like, whatever. Ivan can't get away with murder. So they go get him. Well, they go to get him. But I like that too. It might be a better shot earlier, but he's wearing a Watchman shirt. I thought that was funny. But they go to get him, and he's waiting on his little throne. Oh, a canary. And since he was prepared, and since they think he's just like this weak old magician, they aren't like expecting anything. But that's the misdirection, and he plays that up. And he shoots Zatanna in the throat because her powers. If she says something backwards, that's her magic power that comes true. And so now she can't talk, and and she's dying, I would assume. And Bruce Wayne, Batman, goes to check on her, but he dude's too fast. He just like kicks him in the face and then pushes him into this chair, which is also electrified. And then he takes Zatanna and dumps her into this escape chamber, this little water chamber where, he says one of her tricks is escaping from this chambers, and says even Houdini would be proud of the way you did it, but let's see if you can do it without your real magic. And then he pulls off his mask, and it wasn't Ivar, it was the Joker the whole time. So that was a cool little twist. But then that's the end of this issue, which I was surprised when I pulled this out. I thought they were all one and done issues, and I was like, oh, that's why I'll do it. It's my comics week. I would rather them be one, but I'm not gonna do that. I just whatever it is. And then number 34 continues. And I love this so much. If these two issues would have been a 6-issue arc under any other writer, but they get the whole backstory of Joker and how Joker became Ivar in 2 pages, and that's done. That would have been like a whole issue. He just bangs that out. Now we're caught up. Now we can get back to the story. So I thought that was awesome. Then and now. But yeah, Joker's is the caped crusader trapped through the chair, and Zatanna bleeding to death and drowning at the same time. But Batman's Batman, and he escapes, of course, because Batman's not going to die in his own comic, and he gets her out to find that her throat has been healed. And he's like, what in the world? When I was rereading this, I was like, oh, maybe that was just an illusion. Like he didn't really, I don't know, but no. And then these weird ads. I'm not going to do an ad one this week. But she wrote in her own blood, heal me. Again, Leia M. Because it has to be backwards in blood. And Batman remarks. And that's again, it's not stuff that you have to know for this issue. And because it can work with Batman, he's, written. Let me see if I can read this. A spell written in blood. For a mage like Zatanna, no enchantment is more powerful. So yeah, I mean, they point that, I don't know how she wrote in blood in a tank full of water, but we just have to assume that the water didn't reach the top of the tank. That's the only grip there, but they explain how that was possible, how that worked. So that saved her, and then she's awake in Bruce's manor. And they have a little back and forth, and he talks about how he feels bad. And I don't know if he tells her now or later, but he feels bad about asking her not to use her powers in the last issue. He's like, let's do it my way. We know when you use your magic, you like wipe people's minds. So he was just like, yeah, he's just leery of them. He doesn't trust the Justice League anymore. And then he leaves, and Alfred comes in, and they continue that investigation. And where is this? He's like, they have to be, because now the whole thing is that since it's the Joker and he's basically been caught, he's gonna, in his next show, he's gonna kill the entire audience. That's not expressly stated, but Batman deduces because he is a detective, and this is Detective Comics. So all of these stories are also basically just Batman solving crimes. And I always like Detective Comics because of that. It was normally more basic stories, not like ridiculous, you know, with Tom Snyder arcs and quarter vowels and shit like that. And then there's like this insane 5-page ad that we're gonna skip. And he figures, then of course Joker left a clue because he likes a challenge. The clues were in the bathroom. He ran some hot water, and the scene they didn't talk about how he figured that out, but that's just where it is. A cool little thing. And here's my other favorite panel, right? This one right here. I just love how he just looms over the crowd. And it's awesome. The crowd's worshiping him, and it's just him in his Ivar costume in his last performance where he's gonna kill all these people. And he mentions, he's like, I thought a few hundred would come, but look at all these people. He's like, can't wait to kill them. And then he releases the Joker toxin, and they all get their little weird smiles. I always love Joker toxin. Who doesn't love Joker toxin? And then as they try to flee, like he has electrified the exits so they can't escape. So the people who are pressed up against will get shocked and pass out or die, and then crushed by the crowd coming in behind them. But Batman and Zatanna to the rescue, and they split up, and Zatanna takes care of the crowd. She turns the gas into oxygen and turns the crowd into vampire bats. And I guess because they still have the mentality of humans, even though they're physically bats, they all fly up and attack the Joker. And he's like, what's going on? Where is there a good one? Well, mostly, that's a good one. Where all the bats are swarming and attacking him, and there's awesome shots close up of his face with his bulging eyes, and a booty shot of Zatanna. That's not as plump as I like him. Awesome splash of Batman just punching Joker in the face. That's a cool page. Joker looks great in this book. I mean, the artist really took his time with that. It's like the rest of the characters are good. Batman looks good there, but Joker looks amazing. But yeah, then they all turn back to people, and Batman forgives her for, wiping his mind in Identity Crisis, and she forgives him for, I guess she doesn't really have anything to forgive him for, but he feels bad that she got shot while they were on their mission together, and that's the end. But yeah, that was just a really, really solid comic. And Paul Dini's run on Detective was just really awesome. All of the comics were good. I remember offhand, my other favorite from the series was the Penguin issue. But yeah, these were awesome. If you don't have these, check these out. They're awesome reads, awesome covers. The only thing, if the interiors were black and white like this, that would have been amazing, but they didn't do that. But that's all I got to say about that. That's my comic of the week. And enjoy the rest of yours.